Hello and welcome to another AIC production video. Today I'm going to do a quick unboxing of this Asus Vivobook. It is a laptop that I picked up just today off of Amazon. I had to order something and get it delivered today, and I was going through and trying to figure out what I could add to have same-day delivery. And as usual, I went through the laptops just to see if there was anything new, interesting available, and I came across this Vivobook. Now let's look at the specs here real quick. It is an E203M. It has an 11.6 inch HD screen, so that's a 1366 by 720. It has 32 gigs of eMMC storage. It has 4 gigs of RAM. So this is, once again, a base level, base model, 32 gig web only laptop, really. But I wanted to check it out. It was really interesting looking, and it was $160 with free shipping from Amazon. $160 for a brand new laptop, which to me is just crazy to only be spending $160 on a brand new computer. First and foremost, here is the little power brick. These are so fun. They're so small, so tiny. These computers just don't use a lot of power, and so you don't need a massive power brick for them. Here's the laptop. Let's take this out. Underneath here, the Asus boxes are always such a nice box. They're really nice. They're form cut. The materials that they're made out of. When you open the box, it's a much more premium feeling than, say, like an HP basic laptop or even an Acer. Asus, for whatever reason, seem to put a lot of money into their boxes, and even when you open up a base model, it's kind of nice to have a nice box to open. If you're giving it as a gift or something, you get a couple of little manuals, HDMI, quick start guide, and warranty card. So I'm not going to bother with those right now. Let's go ahead and set the box to the side. And as usual, being an 11-inch laptop, it is tiny. Now, one thing that attracted me to this is it's a beautiful color, but if you look real closely, it has this really neat dot pattern on the lid. It's really cool. So my last few Asuses have been terrible fingerprint magnets, but this one doesn't seem to be as bad because it has that pattern on there. It kind of breaks up. Sorry, I've been working outside, so my nails, thought I cleaned them. Anyways, it breaks up the fingerprint, so it doesn't show up as bad. Fingerprint magnet. We'll see how that holds up to just daily use for scuffs and scrapes. Has a little lip here for your finger. Can you open it with one finger? Nope, nope, nope. Have to use 2 hands. Alright. Now I haven't charged it. It's the first time I'm taking it out of the box. Take my watch off so I don't scratch it up. Let's see here. So first things first, power button. It's not here, it's up here. I appreciate that right away. Having the power button down here on the keyboard, I do not like that. That's where the delete key belongs, not the power button. That trackpad is really nice and big. The arrow keys, while fairly tiny, are individual arrow keys. They're not cluttered and too tight over there. So they're small, but you should be able to push them pretty easily because you're not going to be hitting other buttons by accident. Let's see, it's got some LED indicators here, which I always appreciate. The LED indicators on a laptop, that's something that's going away. It's a matte screen. Oh, I like it being a matte screen. That's usually really good for working outside. It's easier on your eyes, less glare, less reflection. Let's look at our expansion. So we have micro USB, or it's not micro USB, micro SD, full HDMI, USB 3.0, a USB-C. So I don't know if that's 3.1. I have to look up the specs. And oh wow! So you get 2 full-size USB Type A's that are 3.0. So typically with these laptops, you usually get one that's still a 2.0. so you get a slower speed USB. This has 3. I wonder, I'll have to look and see. I doubt, but I'll have to look and see if you can charge off the type C on this. It does come with its little power port over here, so fairly reasonable expansion on here. I am thrilled that there's basically 3 super speed USB ports. I know a lot of people probably don't care, but I do. I use the USB a lot. I transfer a lot of files that way, so I appreciate it. Let's go ahead and open it up and turn it on. Let me adjust the camera just a little bit. There we go. I may have to plug this in because I did just get it. Let me pull that power cord over and plug it in. Alright, so we're now plugged in. Little indicator lights turned on here. Show that it's charging. Let's see if it'll turn on now. There we go. Let's look at these viewing angles. They're not great. They're not terrible. But I mean, what do you expect out of a...
Hi there. I'm Cortana, and I'm here to help.
There we go. It's not bad. It's not bad. I like it. Okay, let's go ahead and power it off. We'll go through the setup and actually use it in another video. This is just an unboxing. Now what we're going to do is we're going to open it up real quick if we can. So let's see what we got for the screws. Does have the downward firing speakers here on the front leading edge, which, I mean, with the laptop this small, there really isn't anywhere else to put them, to be perfectly honest. It has a 2-cell 38 watt-hour battery. Typically with these, the whole control board and everything is tiny. It's like this big. That's what it seems to be usually. Let's see if it's that way this time as well. The whole motherboard with the CPU and just a metal plate for cooling. These ultra low power systems just don't need a lot of cooling. Oh yeah. So this thing is the battery. Here's the bridge cable for the I/O on this side, which is just the headphone jack and a single USB. Speakers are pretty decent in size, so they should sound pretty good. That's one thing Asus definitely does well, is on all these low-end laptops, they still have pretty decent sound quality on them. And then over here, We have what should be the CPU under this, and a ribbon cable to something. It looks like this is actually upside down. I'm guessing this is the Wi-Fi up here. Let's take it a little bit further. Let's dig a little bit deeper. Enhance. Alright, there's the screws. I think that's all of them. Now there's some ribbon cables. Pull that one up. Let's tilt this down a little bit better. Sorry guys. So we got this one loose. Let's get that one loose. Now one thing you'll notice right off the bat, there's actually a place here for a hard drive to be installed. So the system could support it, but then where would it go? There's this is all just battery right here. So it's a pretty darn big battery. This probably goes. How will this go? Does it flip up or does it slide? So I'm trying to do this through the camera. It's hard to see. Hard sometimes figuring out how to get the different connections off. I'm not sure about this one. I'm not sure about this one. If it just pops up or if it. We got a little bit better eye on that. Actually, just slid up that way. Okay. Well, to be perfectly honest, there ain't nothing to see on the other side. There's the a fairly large cooler. The cable for, I'm guessing, the keyboard and mouse, or keyboard. There's absolutely no expansion under here at all, other than the obviously external I/O. Alright, let's go ahead and put her back together. Alright, so yeah, so what you buy is what you get. There's definitely no expansion outside of the external expansion ports on this. Like I said, there's this here that could be for a SATA drive, but there's nowhere for it to actually go. You'd be going into the battery. So, which I'm not complaining. I mean, that means that the battery is nice and big, and this should have an excellent battery life. I mean, I would like to see on these some ability to expand. If they could throw in a M.2 port on these like they did on the IdeaPad 110S that I had, that was excellent, because then you could have the additional storage and it made the laptop significantly faster. The eMMC storage on these is not very fast. It is technically solid state, but it is like the slowest of version of solid state that you could probably go with. I did a performance benchmark on the same laptop that had an eMMC storage versus a hard drive and versus an SSD, and the performance difference was huge. Obviously the eMMC was still faster than a spinning drive, but not that much faster, and it was significantly slower, noticeably slower in all tasks over an SSD. So, and on these low-end systems, having any ability to increase performance is nice. But anyways, that was my first initial just unboxing, initial look, opening it up, seeing what we got on under the hood. We'll now go ahead offline. I will install some applications and we'll get some benchmarking going. Alright, so I just figured out that two of the screws, this one and this one, are longer than the rest. So that is something to be aware of for sure. I did put one in the wrong hole. I don't know if it didn't screw down all the way. So let's make sure I didn't do any damage to the system. Poke it through. Yep, I totally did. Darn. So that's something to be aware of. If you put the wrong screw in the wrong hole, you'll screw it too far and damage the system. Let me make sure it still turns on. Yep, power button still works, so we're good. I didn't damage anything. I just caused a little cosmetic blip there. So that's on me. That's my fault. Anyways, that was an initial unboxing. if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comment section down below. At this point, I'll be doing some performance testing, some gaming on it, tell you what I think of it. So far though, initial impressions, pretty good. A couple things I'm looking forward to, battery life, the touchpad, the keyboard, and just general performance, because a lot of these run into a lot of performance issues just with a slower CPU. Anyways, thank you for watching. I hope you have an amazing day.